Hello, my name is David Roach. I'm the Dickey Family Director and CEO of the Heard Museum, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, the staff, and the Volunteer Guild, I welcome you to the 63rd Annual Heard Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market. This has been a year like no other, but I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of those who ensured that the show would go on.
The art that we are judging today, of course, I'm always really impressed with the art. I'm just so impressed because we were going through such difficult times, and for our artists, our native artists, to still be able to have the resilience to continue our beautiful work, the beautiful work that they have done. I'm very impressed.
This event is important for both the museum and for the artists. It's a great opportunity for some of the best native artists in the country to come together, showcase their best work, and the Heard puts on one of the most extraordinary markets.
This was so exciting. You know, it's a different year, but the quality of the artwork was just really exceptional. And we had a lot of entries. We were just so pleased that artists were willing to participate, and we think we have a really good fair.
The Heard Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market is the second oldest and second largest such market in the United States. Many artists and their families rely very heavily on the income that they generate at the Heard Museum to sustain them throughout the year.
For Native artists, they really have to have a lot of initiative to continue doing the work that they are doing today, because they are faced with so many challenges because of the pandemic. I know they're really limited resources, they're limited in travel, so I know that this is a difficult time for many of our Native artists.
You know, we look forward to this event every year, and we're so glad that people participated, that artists participated. We think the quality of the work is exceptional. We're just really pleased that we have an opportunity to bring visibility to this great work that's being done.
Chamai and aloha, this is Denise Wallace. I am Chugach Sugpiaq, or also known as Alutiiq. I am originally from Cordova, Alaska, and I currently reside on the Big Island of Hawaii on the slope of Mauna Kea. I entered a 5-piece belt this year, and it is called Origins, Roots, and Sources, Past, Present, and Future. And I'd like to thank the Heard Museum Guild. The first mask is the Two-Spirit mask, and it brings awareness of the understanding of those that don't fit into traditional or male or female roles. Inside there are cutouts that represent both male and female, as well as gender variations. My desire here is to make a statement of how complex our DNA is, and that we can't expect everyone to be the same. The next figure is Martin Luther King Jr. and the awareness of Black Lives Matter. The quote by Martin Luther King is, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." I've also scrimshot, "I have a dream." The center mask is the world in which we live in, and this is about how we have to protect our world. And the two faces are the caribou and the seal, which are very important to the northern world. These are animals that have kept my ancestors alive and continue to feed and clothe our people. Outside is the incised cutouts of the plants, water, and cosmos. The next figure is the Ruth Bader Ginsburg figure, and it shows her stamping inside says, "I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is they take their feet off our necks." I also have gender equality and women's rights incised on the bottom. The last mask represents the missing, murdered, and indigenous women. The face has her eyes closed and the outline of a red hand over her mouth. The red hand represents the voices of our women being silenced.
My name is Mark Ron Tahoe. I am Hopi and Bine. I just want to say a big thank you to the Heard Museum Guild and the committee, the judges, the volunteers, and all you guys that put this event together, especially during these times. Also, a big thank you to my family, my friends, my supporters for, pushing me, encouraging me. A little behind the inspiration of my piece entitled "Bearing Gifts." During our ceremonies, the Katsinam bring gifts for the people, the children, and it's not just physical gifts. It's happiness, prosperity, blessings for all life. I think we need as much as we can get during these tough times. I consider myself a slow carver. I don't produce too many pieces during the year. So this award has really humbled me. Again, I'm honored. And, hopefully I get to see you all in person down the road. Again, Kwakwai, thank you, and stay safe.
I'd like to say hello to the Heard Museum Guild and community. My name is Don Johnston. I'm Quagan Teya Gungan, Aleut. I'm born and raised in Ketchikan, Alaska. Myself, Mark Tetpon, and Teresa White were invited to Raven Makes Art Gallery in Sisters, Oregon. During this art show, it was suggested we do a collaboration piece, the results of which we came up with Seal Vision, showcasing Mark's baleen and inlaid ivory, Teresa's bronze work, and my woven Badarka and the woven concentric circle at the bottom of the bronze. I would like to thank the Heard Guild and community for this prestigious award. We are so happy and honored that you chose us for Best of Classification. Thank you so much.
Yate to the Heard Museum Guild and the community. Susan Hutchinsle. Ki ani nisle tishini beshashin pabahadashache na kardine deshanali. I'm from Sheet Springs, New Mexico, Navajo Nation. I would like to thank the Heard Museum Guild and the community for bestowing upon me the honor of receiving the Best of Classification in Weaving and Textiles for my quilt, MMIW, The Tree of Many Dresses. What I wanted to do was to bring to the forefront the epidemic that's happening within the indigenous country is our missing and murdered indigenous women and children, and we can't forget the men. So I wanted to do was to show in my quilt that this tree that's in the center is strong, it's full of wisdom, it's full of stories, and it's full of secrets. And since it's an old tree, that the roots go down all the way to the bottom. And these roots are the witness to these young ladies and these little girls that are being murdered. These roots know where they're lying. These roots are the witness not only to their murder, but to their last breath. And in my quilt, I have a little girl there that I want to show that how despicable human beings discard our young girls and our young ladies. And for the lady that's crying there, to represent the families that have searched and crying and are missing their loved ones. And on the other side, I want to show the viciousness of the conquistadors when they came. And I was showing that they were choking one lady. And then when you see the two little girls that have been thrown off the cliff, I want you to imagine, what did those little girls do to deserve that? So once again, I'd like to thank the Heard Museum Guild and the community. And I want to dedicate this quilt to all the missing and murdered indigenous women and little girls. You're not forgotten.
Hello, Kitatra Ashop Seopa. Maima Doa Huite Guishe Eshe, the Heard Virtual India Market for 2021. Just want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank the Heard Guild the Herd Museum, as well as all the volunteers that have made this event possible. I'm a metalsmith from the Pueblo of Laguna, and I was informed that my necklace and earring set made out of titanium and anodized in some crazy colors did pretty well, getting an Innovation Award and the Conrad House Award in the first place, and so I am pretty stoked. So thank you all for allowing me to participate and being a part of this great show.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolee Martha Lee Douglas from the Northern Arapaho Tribe and also of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. I'm pleased, honored, and humbled to accept this award for Best of Classification for Baskets. I would like to thank the Herd Museum Guild, Indian Fair and Market, their members, judges, and volunteers for this recognition. My weaving this year is a miniature coil basket and is titled the Deer Herd. I like to do animal themes, and this one design is one I haven't done before. The challenge in creating this basket was to incorporate the design of the deer herd and just to make sure that it would fit on this size. It measures in at 1 inch in height and 1.5 inches in diameter. The materials are a single core of round reed and is woven with raffia, which is a palm fiber in a natural color and also a dyed dark brown color. I'm thankful for this award, and I want to give a special thanks to all the people involved in coordinating the Herd Museum Guild, a virtual Indian market this year, and hopefully we will all be able to gather again next year in Phoenix. And as an artist, I always look forward to all the hospitality that the Guild provides to all the artists, and I'm sure also their participants that come to the market enjoy also. Good luck to all the artists this year that are in this market, and stay safe and healthy, everyone, so that next year we will all be able to visit and see each other in person. Again, thank you.
Hello, Herd Museum and community. My name is Mark Tepon. I'm from the Bering Straits region. I'm an Inupiaq Eskimo. The collaboration of the Seal Vision Shared Spirit Mask was brought about when a gallery in Sisters, Oregon invited me to do an art show. The name of the gallery is Raven Makes Gallery. And that's where I met Dawn Johnston and Teresa White. They were also doing an art show there with me. When we got together, the idea just came about that it would be interesting for us to do a mask together, with Teresa doing beautiful sculptures and Dawn Johnston doing baleen basket weaving and beautiful badarkas, also known as kayaks. What I did was the ivory appendages, the baleen blades on the ulus with the ivory handles, the dancing seals, the swimming seals, and the fish. All those types of things, just tied it all together. We wanted to show everybody, you know, what parts we can do best. And so that's how the whole mask came together. It seemed like it was so easy that it was meant to be.
Shodaji, Herd Museum Guild and Community. Balasha Basania Hushuk, Biapsalokak. My name is first many times. My English name is Birdie Realbird. I am Apsalaka from Garryon, Montana. I created a traditional Apsalaka parade horse trappings consisting of 9 beaded pieces. The martingale, bridle with face ornament, old-time saddle with stirrups, saddle blanket, lance case, 2 saddlebags, and the tail wrap. Horse medicine is the name of my display. I come from a horse family that believes and practices traditional horse medicine. I was inspired by the women in my family of beaters, my mom, Lucy Wallace Reelbird, my grandmother, Florence Medicine Tail Reelbird, my aunts, Martha Reelbird Littlelight, and Lorraine Reelbird Moccasin. I have been a beater since I was 12 years old. I have completed many projects, but this is my first art show. The Center Pole, a native nonprofit on the Crow Reservation, motivated me to enter this art show. I was also inspired by the Crow Fair Parade, the longest Native American parade, more than 3 miles long, where you would see more than 500 decorated horses. Aho, Herd Museum Guild and Community. Aho, original peoples of the lands we are on. Aho to Peggy Well-Known Buffalo and Susan Kelly, directors of the Native nonprofit, the Center Pole. For more information, go to thecenterpole.org. We want to thank you all for appreciating the traditional horse medicine display. This has been a great honor for me.
Chamai. Greetings to the Herd Museum Guild community. Hi, art lovers, and hi, fellow participants and artists in this great event, this hybrid virtual and on-site event. Super excited to be here and sharing with you virtually. And I also just want to say thank you to the community for expressing so much love and appreciation for the collaboration piece that I worked on with Mark Tetpon and Don Johnston. This piece is really exciting to me because I feel like it expresses the interrelationship between human people and animal people, and the friendship between us Alaska Native artists. I feel like it really represents what we were going for. We came together in, I guess it was 2 years ago in Oregon in a little gallery called Raven Makes. And we were all showing, we were there for the weekend, and it turns out that we loved each other's work. We respected and were interested in each other's methods and materials. And so this collaboration was born. It took us about a year connecting virtually to create this piece. We live in different areas. I'm in Northern Oregon, Don Johnston lives in Southern Oregon, and Mark is in Alaska. So this all came together over, I guess, just the ether, and also Facebook Messenger video. We didn't even have a lot of interaction throughout the year. We would just like connect with each other here and there to say, oh, this is what I'm working on. What are you working on? And to give each other kind of props and encouragement along the way. And this piece was born. So I love it. I hope you all love it. Again, Guyana gratitude to all the people who have seen it and who have expressed their connection to it. I do want to say that the center part of this piece is the part that I did. I am a sculptor, and I sculpted the woman and the seal. The centerpiece is a seal piece, and then the woman's face with the seal wrapping around. I hope that shares some joy with you, and I hope you see the effervescence and the excitement and the connection between the seal person and the woman. And then I'm excited to be here. Can't wait to see all the great art in this show. Again, thank you to the Herd Museum Guild, and thank you to you all.
Yade Orlando Dugainchia, Kia Ani and Slot with a genie Bashichin, Lizalana Dashache, do Tedesh Krishni Dashanale. Tilabede I Sinasha. Santa Fe de Shogun. Hello everyone, my name is Orlando Dugai, and I am of the Diné Nation, and I reside in Santa Fe, New Mexico, originally from Gray Mountain, Arizona. I would like to start by saying a hiyahet to the Herd Museum Guild for this opportunity and this award. The entry piece that I created is part of a capsule collection from during the pandemic time. And the dress I entered is titled the Zani dress, and I titled it after my great paternal grandmother. So the inspiration for this garment comes from an old Navajo story about hero twins who visit their father, the sun, to ask for help with monsters who are killing Diné people on Earth. And so the story goes that the sun gifts the boys weapons of sunlight. And two of these pieces are the gifts are zigzag arrows and straight arrows made of sunlight. And I incorporated this design onto the garment as a protection for the wearer. And also two other elements that I incorporated into the garment is Mother Earth and Father Sky motifs. The Mother Earth portion is represented by floral designs and Father Sky by star designs. And the whole garment is also constructed of various silks that were left over from previous collections. And so it's also in honor of my grandmothers who also never threw anything away. And so, and in this time of the pandemic, in the very beginning, I wasn't able to order new silk, and so this was also how the garment was thought up. And I would like to say Hyehet and Skago to the Herd Museum Guild again. Hyehet.
Greetings, Herd Museum Guild and Art Community. My name is Dallin Mabey. I am Northern Arapaho and Seneca. I am originally from the Cattaraugus Indian Reservation in western New York, but my family in Wyoming is on the Wind River Indian Reservation. And I created a beaded gas mask that's titled Resilience, a COVID, smallpox, and Black Plague floral gas mask. The piece itself talks mainly about the ability of our people to adapt and overcome and grow despite some often very horrific histories and traumas and experiences that we've been asked to endure. But more importantly, I think with this piece I want people to understand that we are all part of a tribe of human beings where we can look out for each other in the name of humanity and humankind. We all suffer. We've all been asked to endure this pandemic and hopefully grow a little and be a little more grateful for some of the blessings that we enjoy in our everyday lives. There's a lot to see in that piece, and I hope it moves you in some way, viscerally, whether it's with horror for the need of a gas mask in the first place, or in simple admiration for the beadwork and the florals and the DNA strands and the vines that run throughout the piece. I hope it speaks to you on some level. I just want to thank the Herd Museum Guild for the recognition. It's always very humbling, and I'm extremely grateful to stand amongst so many artists who are creating so many phenomenal pieces of work. It's very inspiring, and again, I'm absolutely grateful, and thank you.
Ha, Matakiapi. My name is Juanita Growing Thunder Fogarty. I'm from the Fort Peck Assiniboine Sioux tribes of northeastern Montana. I would like to thank the Herd Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market 2021 for the honor of winning Best of Show this year. I am grateful and humbled to receive this recognition. The piece that I made is a soft sculpture figure doll titled Pandemic Survivor. I made her to mark this unprecedented time in all of our lives and to remind people of the strength of our ancestors. She is standing on a beaded image of the COVID-19 virus, and along the border of the virus are the names of the pandemics that our people have survived. The introduction of smallpox in 1630, the Spanish flu of 1918, and COVID-19 in 2020. Along with identifying these pandemics, I also included our Dakota word for strong-willed, Wakitatanga, so that we remember our strength. She is also wearing a penny dress that represents how we as Native women must balance and live in the two worlds of our traditional culture and our modern world, which is something we are all balancing during this time. She has a painted skirt wrap that has some of our traditional medicines represented on it: cedar, bare root, echinacea, sweetgrass, and sage. We must always remember that our medicines have always been here with us. She is also wearing a face mask that is beaded in floral designs done in tiny antique micro seed beads, sizes 20 to 24. I've been so inspired by all the Native artists who have indigenized their face masks. I would like to thank my family for their patience and all of the sacrifices that they've had to make in their lives for me to be able to devote the time to work on these pieces. Our lives revolve around traditional arts, and I'm so grateful for that. Most of all, I would like to thank my mother, Joyce Growing Thunder, for a lifetime of teachings. I couldn't have done it without you. I love you, Mom. Again, thank you for all of this honor, and be well, continue to stay safe, and wear your mask. Wopita.
Congratulations, Juanita, and congratulations to all the award winners. I want to remind you that everything here is for sale. There are two ways that you can buy. You can join us here tomorrow in person at the Herb Museum, or you can buy online. Please remember that there are 300 artists who are participating in the Herb Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market's virtual marketplace. I encourage you to look at their websites and to support the artists. Your support has never mattered more than it does this year. Thank you so much. And again, I hope to see you soon at the Herb Museum.